Menopause has hit me like a train. I'm too damn exhausted to even get through the day, let alone work out. Does that sound familiar? It's really common in menopausal women, and I'm going to talk about what you can do about it. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you, if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50, and I'm 57 now, get in amazing shape. But one of the things that stops us from doing that is extreme fatigue. I've suffered from it. I know I get tons of comments from women who are suffering from it, and let me tell you, it's absolutely normal. We're not told this, are we? We're not told this about menopause. We're told about things like hot flashes and all the really common symptoms like that, but we're not told about the extreme fatigue. And I got a comment recently, and it's pretty typical. I'm going to read it out. So this comment's from Bassler. Thank you very much for leaving this. She says, I'm 63 and I'm still working full time. I am up at 4 a.m. and don't get home until 5 p.m. My biggest obstacle is fatigue. On work days, I have absolutely no energy left. I can usually work out on Monday and maybe Tuesday, but then by Wednesday through Friday, I'm exhausted. I then make Saturday and Sunday a priority to work out. I am gradually lifting heavier and seeing some muscle tone in my arms, but still have belly fat. How can I combat fatigue? I have increased protein. Well, I'm going to be going into it in this video, but what I would say is your routine sounds absolutely perfect, to be honest with you. You're doing 4 days a week, so that is optimum for strength training, but I'm going to get a bit more into it in this video. I wouldn't try to do any more, and I hear you. If you're getting up at 4 a.m. and you don't get home until 5 p.m, that is absolutely exhausting in itself without fitting anything else in. I know, because I was out for 12 hours a day and I was commuting for 3 hours a day. And so I absolutely understand the kind of demands of that when you're trying to run a household. Probably you might even have children like I do, and you've got lots of other responsibilities. So I know how tough that is, and please let me reassure you, you are doing enough. But just keep watching this video because I'm going to go into it. So what we're going to do first, we're going to talk about why are we getting fatigue. I'm going to give you a checklist of things that you can go through to see kind of where this is coming from and what you need to address. And then we're going to talk about solutions. So why are we getting fatigue? Well, I'll talk a little bit about my story to help you kind of understand what's going on, and then I'll talk about the reasons why. So I went through a period of really extreme fatigue when I was 54. I'm 57. And actually what was happening is my periods were stopping, and so I was literally going through menopause, and that's when it just hit me like a train, this extreme fatigue, no get up and go, really tired all the time. However much rest, however much sleep I got, I didn't seem to feel any better. And what I realise now is it was because I was literally in the throes of menopause, right in it, right in the thick of it. And that's the time when you can experience the most fatigue. That's not to say you won't get it when you're in perimenopause, but when I was in perimenopause, I didn't quite feel that fatigue. And even in postmenopause, I feel better now. So it was in that real kind of period of time, and I didn't realise what was going on because I had competed in bikini shows. That's when the fatigue really hit me, straight after those, and I was kind of also getting really sick. and I had COVID. I thought it was because I was recovering from COVID, recovering from doing those shows, because it does take it out of you. And it just kind of went on and on and on. And even when I recovered from COVID, I was still extremely tired. So I decided to visit my doctor, and they actually ran some tests. And we're going to talk about this as well. They ran some tests. There was nothing wrong with me. But what I was having was depleting hormones. So that's the first reason why. Your estrogen, your progesterone, and your testosterone, they're all depleting. You're going through a stage in your life which is the biggest thing that's going to happen to your hormones since adolescence. It's even more than childbirth, and that surprised me. And you know how fatigued you get with like pregnancy and childbirth if you've ever done that. This is even more of a change in your hormones. So no wonder you're completely drained and tired. Many people actually leave work, or they're a real high flyer and they decide they cannot cope anymore, and so they leave. There's lots of kind of reports going on about this at the moment, because menopause, there's a real awareness, isn't there, being raised about it. And so this is one thing, isn't it? It's like if you're feeling like you can't cope anymore, you're completely tired, your mind is changing, your whole body is changing. And so some of the things, some of the desires that you had, like being a high flyer in the corporate world, that can actually start to sort of diminish. And it's perfectly normal, as I said before, to be completely drained and tired at this stage in life, but it's often a thing that isn't talked about, which is why I want to make this video about it. I myself decided to start my own business. It actually started as a side hustle because I wanted to control my own hours. So I didn't want to be getting up at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m, going to the gym to work out, then driving to work, and then not getting back till 7 p.m. because I was commuting. I didn't want that lifestyle anymore. And so that was one of the motivations. I'm talking to you now, and I run my own fitness and weight loss business because I control my own hours. And when you're working for somebody else, you don't control your own hours. Now, I'm not suggesting like you leave your job or you leave your high paying job, that kind of thing. You don't have to. However, it is a good opportunity to reassess what is going on in your life, what serves you and what doesn't serve you anymore. Many women at this stage in life actually decide to reassess everything and change what's going on as a result of going through menopause. And there's nothing wrong with just sitting down and reassessing. It's what you actually want. We're tired not just because of work and trying to work out as well at the same time. We have a lot of other responsibilities at midlife. We might be caring for young children or older children like I am. I have older teenagers. We might be caring for elderly relatives. So I have my mother, I have my auntie who's got dementia. So there's kind of all sorts of things going on in my life that makes it really extremely difficult to kind of manage your time and have enough energy to get through the day and do everything. So it's not just our physical bodies, it's the mental stress that can occur from all sorts of responsibilities that we've got that can contribute to extreme fatigue. So let's talk about the checklist. So I talked about my own personal circumstances and getting a full blood fat panel done. Now, you can go down the route of seeing your doctor about it, but what I would recommend is you definitely get your female hormones checked, and that actually includes testosterone, because testosterone is, as well as being a male hormone, it is actually a female hormone as well, and very much misunderstood. So you want to get your estrogen, progesterone and your testosterone levels checked. You want your T3 and T4 levels, which control your thyroid function, because many women at this stage in life can find they've got something called hypothyroidism, which will result in extreme fatigue. So it's definitely worth testing for that. So that's your first port of call. If you find you have got depleting hormones, that's kind of a reassurance to you. Are you in the throes of menopause like I was? You know, that can be really beneficial to know that that's what's happening. So you know there's a reason. You know that you're probably in the future going to start to feel better as well. And like I did, you might want to go down the route of hormone replacement therapy, because I found it an absolute game changer when it came to addressing my menopause symptoms, which included severe night sweats, waking up 6 times in the night, you know, anxiety, and the big one is extreme fatigue. Now, I don't feel like a 20-year-old just because I take HRT, but I do feel a whole lot better. So it's definitely worth you having a chat with your doctor and considering that, but you don't have to do that. I'm going to talk about the other things in a bit when I've talked about the checklist. Number 2 on my checklist is have a look at your lifestyle. Are you eating optimally for your hormone health? So that means taking in plenty of protein. Are you lifting weights 3 or 4 times a week? Now, I've got a full video on how to transform your body when you're over 40, and I am going to link that video at the end of this video. It is a deep dive video. It's almost an hour, but it's got everything that you need to know in terms of how to exercise and nutrition so that you can actually feel more energized and a lot better when you go down that path. And just to prove it, you know, women that take part in my 8-week transformation challenge or any of my other programs and being coached by me always report back to me that they have more energy when they've started addressing their lifestyle. So that's eating optimally and that's exercising optimally. The third thing on your checklist is looking at stress and sleep. Are you getting enough sleep, or are you highly stressed? Those things can really contribute quite strongly to extreme fatigue, and you do need to address them in order to get your energy levels back up. Now I'm going to go into 5 things that you can do today to start addressing your fatigue. Number 1, you want to be lifting weights 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm not saying you need to do cardio at this stage, because fitting in cardio and lifting weights might be too much if you're trying to fit them in all together. So when I was experiencing extreme fatigue, what I did, because I knew I couldn't do absolutely everything, I just didn't have any energy, I prioritized lifting weights. And that's what I did 4 times a week. So that's what I want you to do if you're experiencing extreme fatigue. If you need to cut those workouts to shorter workouts of 30 minutes, do so. You know, you can get in a decent workout in 30 minutes. Then I want you to prioritize walking. You want to be walking daily. So you want to fit that in at some point. Even if it's 10 minutes to start off with and you kind of gradually build up there. That's what I did. I prioritised walking, and I can walk, you know, I can go and walk for an hour even when I'm fatigued, because I'm not talking about power walking. I'm talking any kind of walking. Try to fit that in, because getting moving is going to make you feel better. Number 3. Ensure you're getting in high quality nutrition. Although it's really tempting when you're lacking in energy to have a sugary snack in the afternoon, and I get lots of clients who report to me that they do this because they're kind of needing a lift in the afternoon. Please don't do that, because you get on that cycle with sugar and it's actually going to make you crash and burn and make you feel worse. So we want to be taking your sugar from things like fruit, whole fruits. That's going to be much better for you. And avoiding processed foods as well. That's going to be better for your overall energy levels. Number 4, rest and sleep as much as you can. That sounds obvious, doesn't it? And of course, sleep's much harder to come by, but it's a question of prioritizing sleep. Getting yourself into a really great sleep routine, sleeping according to the circadian rhythm, using relaxation techniques and avoiding technology right before you go to bed, and using mindfulness techniques, even looking at supplementation like CBD oil and ashwagandha can really be great for a good night's sleep. And maybe catching up on the weekends, having a sleep in the daytime, catching up on the weekends when you've got more time to do things like go to bed in the afternoon is going to make a huge difference. Don't work out 7 days a week. I talked about prioritizing lifting weights. You're probably going to be working out 3 or 4 times a week, and that's enough. Take time out to de-stress. This is really important. Whatever works for you. As an example, I love house music and I love going out dancing, and I love to go to festivals overseas in other parts of Europe. So that's what I do, that's what I love doing, and I get a great deal of enjoyment, and it really helps me mentally do that. And so what that does is it helps me relax and it brings my energy levels up. But whatever it is that you do that you love, no matter how tired you are, it's really important that you take time out for yourself to actually do some things that you enjoy, regardless of whether you're running around after other people a lot as well, with your sandwich that you might be in, like me, where you've got dependent elderly relatives and then you've got teenagers or children. You still need to take time out for yourself and prioritize you. Because if you're not in the best of health, you're not going to be able to look after them anyway. So that is so important, making yourself a priority. But doing something you love, identify that and spend some time on it. You won't regret it. So don't forget, if you really want to take a deep dive and understand exactly what you should be doing with nutrition and exercise, I'm going to leave a video up here which will take you through everything in a step-by-step format, and leave a comment below with what your thoughts and experiences are on extreme fatigue.